GM Vidyaniketan Public School, shaping minds of the future. Founded in 2005 under the aegis of GM Education Trust, we are affiliated to the CBSE Board, New Delhi. We house over 3,000 students and 300 staff at our institution. Well-equipped classrooms with digital learning facilities, a highly dedicated and experienced faculty team, state-of-the-art learning facilities, and hosts of engaging co-curricular activities are designed to allow our children to unlock their hidden potential. We strive to inculcate the spirit of sportsmanship and perseverance in every child. A diligent sports curriculum involves a variety of indoor and outdoor games. GM Vidyaniketan Public School. Children of today, world citizens of tomorrow.
Hello students, welcome to the second session of second chapter of science, that is nutrition in animals of class 7. In last session we discussed about how the process of digestion will takes place in the animals. The different steps we have discussed, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. In this session we will discuss about the first topic, that is teeth. So we have learned about digestion, right? So in the digestion what happens, the food will first enters into the mouth. So in mouth what happens, the food will gets converted into smaller pieces, and the food will get converted into smaller pieces with the help of teeth. So teeth helps in breaking down the large food particles into smaller particles, and also it helps in chewing and grinding the food particle. And if you see this teeth, so usually the teeth will be fixed in a socket in the jaw. So usually it will be like this. Now if you see here each tooth, so each tooth will be fixed in a socket in the jaw. It's like how this plug will be fixed in a socket. In the same way the tooth will be fixed in a socket in the jaw. There are mainly two parts are there. So that is the upper part that we can see in the mouth, that is called as crown, the white part, and the lower part is called as root, and that root will be covered by the gums, and each tooth will be fixed in separate socket in the jaw. Now if you see your teeth in the mirror, all the teeth will be of same shape or same kind? No, right? There will be different kinds of teeth you can see in our mouth. So mainly there are 4 types of teeth are there. Now let us see what are they. There are mainly 4 types of teeth are there. They are incisors, canine, premolars and molars. So there are 4 different types of teeth will be there. Now let us see what are the incisors. So incisors are the teeth that is present in the front region. Now if you see take the lower jaw, and if you see at the front position in the center you can see 4 teeth here. These 4 teeth that is called as incisors, and the main function of these incisor is to bite and cut the food particles. So usually in the mouth there will be 8 incisors teeth will be there, and 4 incisors teeth will be there in the lower jaw, and 4 incisors will be there in the upper jaw. So total 8 incisors teeth will be there in the mouth. So here total number is 8. It is present in the center. The main function is to bite and cut the food particles. And next is canine. If you see just behind these incisors, see here this is the canine teeth, and if you see at the end of this canine, the end of the canine is pointed. It has a pointed end, and there will be total 4 canine teeth will be there. 2 will be in the lower jaw and 2 will be in the upper jaw. If you see in the lower jaw, the canine teeth will be there on right and left side of the incisor teeth. So here one canine, here one canine. So there will be 4 canine teeth are there, and the main function of this canine is just to pierce and tear the food particles. And next we have to discuss about the premolars. So premolars are present just behind the canine teeth. So here if you see these 2 teeth, that is called as premolars. There will be total of 8 premolars teeth are there in the mouth, 4 in the lower jaw and 4 in the upper jaw. If you consider these lower jaw, so lower jaw has total 4 premolar teeth. 2 will be on right side and 2 will be on left side of the jaw. So here 2 premolars and here 2 premolars will be there. And if you see here, these premolars, the upper surface of these premolars, these are flat. So that's why usually these premolars are used to grind and chew the food. So here there will be 8 in number, and these are they have flat surface. It is used to chew and grind the food. And next we have to discuss about the molars. So molars are present behind the premolars, and it is present at the last. See here, there will be total of 12 molar teeth are there. 6 present in the lower jaw and 6 molars are present in the upper jaw. If you see here, the surface of these molars also so flat, and it is large compared to that of the premolars. The function of molars is same as that of the premolars. So molars are also used to grind and chew the food particles. So there will be total 12 molars teeth are there, and the function is same, that is to chew and grind the food. Now if we consider lower jaw will contains 4 incisor teeth, 2 canine teeth and 4 premolar teeth and 6 molar teeth will be there. So total there will be 60 teeth are there in the lower jaw, same in the upper jaw also. So as a total there will be 32 teeth will be there in the mouth of adult men and women. Now if you see in the case of humans, in the humans the teeth will grow twice, that is 2 times the teeth will grow. First time the teeth will grow when the baby is of 6 months. At the age of 6 months, the first set of teeth will start to grow. The first set of teeth that will start to grow is called as milk teeth. These milk teeth are also called as temporary teeth. So why it is called as temporary teeth? Because at the age of 8 to 9, these milk teeth will start to fall off, and this is not the permanent teeth. That's why it is called as temporary teeth. When these milk teeth will fall off from the mouth, next another set of teeth will start to grow in that place, and the set of teeth that will start to grow in the place of milk teeth are called as permanent teeth. And usually these permanent teeth will not fall off. Usually at the old age, these permanent teeth will start to fall off. When it falls, the another set of teeth will not come in that place. That is only in the case of milk teeth, another set of teeth will come, that is the permanent teeth. After the permanent teeth, no more teeth will start to grow. So that is about milk teeth and permanent teeth. So next we have to discuss about the tooth decay. So before studying about the tooth decay, first we should know about the parts of the tooth. Now if you see here, the white part, the white hard part that we see, that is called as enamel, and below the enamel there will be dentine. Dentine is similar to that of the bone, and below the dentine you can see a cavity, that is called as pulp cavity. In the pulp cavity there will be blood vessels and the nerves. So next let us see what exactly happens during the tooth decay. So whenever you eat the food and if you don't clean your mouth properly, what happens? The bacteria will start to grow on the teeth, and these bacteria will react or it will act on the sugar particle that is present in the food, which will be present in between the teeth. So when these bacteria act on the sugar, it will produces an acid. The bacteria, it will act on sugar present in the food and it will produces an acid, and this acid will start to eat up this enamel and the dentine part. If you see here, in this enamel and the dentine part is eaten up by the acid produced, and it will create one cavity here. This is the cavity that is produced by the action of this acid on enamel and dentine part, and when this cavity extends, when it reaches this pulp cavity, the tooth will start to rot and it will start to pain. So tooth ache will start. That's how the process of tooth decay will takes place. Mainly this tooth decay or toothache will start because of eating the sugary food items, like by eating the chocolates or ice creams, sweets and juice. If you eat all these sugary items and if you don't wash your mouth properly, this tooth decay will start. Now let us see how we can avoid this tooth decay. So first step is you have to wash your mouth after each meal. After eating any food items, you have to clean the mouth after each meal, and next we have to brush our teeth 2 times a day. If you brush our teeth, what happens? Whatever the food particles which is present in between the teeth, all that will be removed from the mouth. Next step is you have to avoid the sugary food items. You have to avoid eating more chocolates or ice creams or sweet or juice. So if you avoid using all these sugary food items, we can reduce the tooth decay. So that is about the tooth decay. Next we have to discuss about the tongue. So tongue is present in the mouth, and if you see at the front side of the tongue, the front side it is not attached to the oral cavity, it is not attached to the mouth, and if you see the back side of the tongue, back side of the tongue is attached to the oral cavity. That's why you can move your tongue in the front region. Front region you can move your tongue in any direction, but not in the back side. Now let us discuss about the functions of the tongue. The first function of tongue is, see, when digestion of food takes place in the mouth, what happens? The food will get broken down into smaller pieces by the teeth, and next these food will get mixes with the saliva. For mixing of the saliva, this tongue will help. The tongue will helps to mix the saliva with the food. That is the first function, and next is it helps to swallow the food. After the digestion in the mouth, the food has to move down to the esophagus. So for this process, this tongue will help. So tongue helps to swallow the food. and next is it also helps to detect the taste of the food. Now if we consider the food, so there will be mainly 4 different types of taste will be there in the food, that is sugary taste, salty taste and bitter and sour taste. So these are the 4 different tastes of the food, and these taste is detected by the tongue with the help of taste buds. If you see here on the upper side of the tongue, there will be many taste buds will be there, and these taste buds will detect the different taste of the food, but all the parts of the tongue will not detect all different kinds of taste, only some part of the tongue will detect particular taste. If you see here at the tip of the tongue, the taste buds present in the tip of the tongue will detect the sweet taste, and if you just see behind these tip, there will be some taste buds, that taste buds will detect the salty taste, and at the sides also, if you see here at the sides also taste buds will be there, and these taste buds will detect the sour taste. And if you see the bitter taste is detected by the taste buds that is present at the back side of the tongue. So that's how the taste will get detected in the tongue, not in all the parts, only in some part, that is at the tip sweet taste, and at the side sour taste, and at the back side the bitter taste will be detected. So that is the function of this tongue. Now let us discuss about the digestion in grass eating animals. Grass eating animals are nothing but herbivores like cow, buffaloes, sheep, goat, all these are grass eating animals, and the grass eating animals will show different kinds of digestion. It is not same as that of the digestion in the humans. Why? Because if you see here the grass will contains a special type of carbohydrate that is called as cellulose. It is a carbohydrate. This carbohydrate can be digested only by the herbivorous animals, not by the human beings. So to digest this special type of carbohydrate cellulose, these grass eating animals will have a bacteria in their stomach. This bacteria will digest the cellulose carbohydrate in the stomach, and then it is used by the body. Now let us see how the digestion will takes place in the grass eating animals. We will take the example of cow. Now if you see in the case of cow, the cow usually they will have a large stomach. They have a special stomach that is to digest this cellulose carbohydrate. The stomach, they will have 4 different chambers. So they are rumen, omasum, reticulum and abomasum. So these are the 4 different chambers that is present in the stomach. Now what happens, while grazing, the cow will eat the grass. So when it while grazing, what happens, it will eat the grass, it will chew the grass, but it will not chew the grass completely, just partially it will chew the grass and it will eat it, and this grass, this partly chewed grass, it will enters into the esophagus, and through esophagus it will reaches the first chamber of the stomach, that is rumen. So in the rumen what happens, they will have special kinds of bacteria in the rumen. These bacteria will produces one enzyme that is called as cellulase. This cellulase will digest, will convert this cellulose carbohydrate into glucose, will get converted into glucose, that is by the cellulase enzyme produced by the bacteria. So here what happens, slightly the cellulose carbohydrates will get digested into glucose, and this partly digested food that is present in the rumen, that is called as cud. So cud is partially digested food. Now what happens, this curd we'll now move on to the second part of this stomach, that is reticulum. So in reticulum also the further digestion will takes place. Now what happens, after grazing the cow will take the rest, right? So while taking rest, what happens, this cow will again brings back this curd from reticulum back to the mouth. So again it will brings back this partly digested food from reticulum back to the mouth. So while it is resting, again it will starts to chew and grind the food. And this process of bringing back this curd again back to the mouth, that process is called as rumination, and the animals which shows the process of rumination are called as ruminants. The process of bringing back curd back to mouth for chewing is called rumination, and the animals which shows the process of rumination are called as ruminants. Okay. Now the food will get again chewed in the mouth. So after that what happens, again this food from the mouth it will pass into the esophagus. Now it will enters into the third chamber, that is omasum. So in the omasum what happens, the absorption of the water takes from the fluid. So whatever water content is there in the food, that gets absorbed by the omasum. Now the food from the omasum will enters into the next chamber, that is abomasum. That is along with the bacteria, this food will enters into the last chamber, that is abomasum. This abomasum will produces some acids, and these acids will kills the bacteria that is present in the food, as well as it also produces the digestive juice, and that digestive juice will digest the food that is present in the abomasum. Now the food has been digested in the abomasum. Next it will goes to the small intestine. In the small intestine the food will get absorbed. So that's how the process of digestion will takes place in the case of grass eating animal, that is cow. I will explain it once. So first what happens, while grazing the cow will eat the grass. So partially it will chew the food, and next it will move to the esophagus. From esophagus it will go to the first chamber of the stomach, that is rumen. In the rumen it will get partly digested, that is the bacteria will produces the cellulase enzyme that will convert cellulose into glucose. Next from the rumen it will goes to the reticulum, and from reticulum again it will goes back to the mouth for further chewing. That process is called as rumination, and next again that curd it will move to the third chamber, that is omasum. In the omasum absorption of the water will takes place. Next it will goes to the fourth chamber, that is abomasum. In the abomasum it will produces acid. That acid will kills the bacteria, and as well as the digestive juice that is present in the abomasum will digest the food. Next it will goes to the small intestine. In the small intestine all the food components will be absorbed. So that's how the process of digestion takes place in the case of cow. Now if you see in the case of humans, human can survive only by eating the grass? No, humans cannot survive by eating only grass. Why? Because the grass contains mainly the carbohydrate cellulose, and to digest this cellulose there should be bacteria which produce cellulase enzyme. If you consider the human body does not contains this bacteria which can digest the cellulose enzyme. That's why humans cannot survive by eating only grass. So only these grass eating animals, herbivores, have the special bacteria which can digest the cellulose. So that's how the process of digestion takes place in the cow. Next let us discuss about the last topic of the chapter, that is digestion in amoeba. So amoeba is a microorganism. microorganism means what? It is a very very small organism. We cannot see through the naked eyes. We can see only in the microscope. So usually these amoeba will live in the pond, and it is a unicellular organism. Unicellular organism means it has only one cell. So what do you mean by cell? Cell is nothing but the basic unit of all the kinds of living organisms. The basic unit means all the living organisms is made up from the cells. If you consider our body is made up of millions of cells. If you consider this amoeba has only one cell. So since it has only one cell, it is called as unicellular organism. Now let us see the parts of the cell. If you see here, this is the body of the amoeba, this is the cell. If you see here, you have a jelly like material inside the cell. This jelly like material is called as cytoplasm. So this is the cytoplasm. And this cytoplasm is enclosed by the thin membrane. See here, this is the outer boundary of the cell, that is called as cell membrane. And next, if you see here, this is a oval shaped structure that is called as nucleus, and this and another, if you see here, there is a bubble like structure that is called as vacuole, that is the food vacuole. Now if you see here the shape of the amoeba, the shape of the amoeba is not same, it has different shape, it will not remain constant. So why? Because this amoeba, it can move its cytoplasm in any direction, it can make its cytoplasm to move in any direction. When the cytoplasm moves, what happens? The shape will change. For example, if you consider, this is the one shape of amoeba. When the cytoplasm, if it moves in this direction, what happens? The shape will change like this. So when again if it moves in this direction, again the shape will change. So shape is not constant, it will goes on changing. And if you see here, many outgrowth structures you can see here. These outgrowth structures are called as pseudopodia. So here, this is the pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. These are the false feet which helps in the movement of the body, and this amoeba can produce the pseudopodia, that is just by moving its cytoplasm. If the cytoplasm moves in this direction, an outgrowth will be produced in this direction and it will create a pseudopodia. So that is about the structure of amoeba. Next, let us see how the process of digestion will take place in the amoeba. Mainly, this amoeba will use its pseudopodia for capturing the food. So usually if we consider the amoeba, it will be present in the pond. So small, it will feed on the small microorganisms. So using this false feet. So first step, what they will do, they will produce two pseudopodia around the food particles. For example, if we consider, so in the first step, what happens when a food particles enters near the amoeba will produces two pseudopodia. So here this two pseudopodia it will produce, it will surround the food particles. In the next step, what happens, the ends of the pseudopodia will join together. When it join together, it will trap the food particles along with little water and it will form a food vacuole. So here you can see the food is trapped inside the body of the amoeba. Now what happens, these cytoplasm, they will produce some digestive juice. These digestive juice will digest the food that is present in the vacuole. When the food will get digested, it will get absorbed by the cytoplasm. So when the food gets absorbed by the cytoplasm, the vacuole will disappear, and the whatever food absorbed by the cytoplasm is used by the amoeba, that is to get energy and for the growth and development of the cell. And next, if there is any undigested food is there, that will get removed from the body by the rupturing of the cell wall. If you see here, this is the cell membrane. By the rupturing, that is breaking of this cell membrane, the undigested food will goes out. It will goes out of the body. So that's how the process of digestion will takes place in the case of amoeba. Now I will give some questions for homework. For that you have to write the answer. So we will check these answers once the school will reopen, and marks will be given for these answers. So first question is, name the different types of teeth, and next write the functions of tongue, and the last one, explain the process of digestion in the cow. So you have to write the answers in the same book. So we will check it after the reopening, and marks will be there. So thank you.